Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel. We got a Black Lives Matter video today. Another one. Rochester police. Black Lives Matter protesters clash downtown at Daniel Prude demonstration. Well, this is not the best footage of clashing. This is pretty much just people hanging out, spreading the virus. It's awfully nice of them. Anyways, so yeah, I watched the video of Daniel Prude, and it was interesting in the fact that he completely complied. The preliminary autopsy report on him shows it was asphyxiation, and yeah, that's bad. Whereas St. George Floyd, no. St. George Floyd, according to the autopsy report, did not die of asphyxiation. In fact, there was no signs of it. And in his case, it was an overdose, according to the autopsy report. And you can watch the whole footage now, where he's in the back of the car saying, I can't breathe, in the back of the car. And he says, get me out of here, put me on the sidewalk. They put him on the sidewalk. So they're following all of his instructions. And then, of course, he perishes, but he dies of an overdose. And then we have never-ending riots. All by Black Lives Matter. How lovely. So here's Rochester. Instead of them just commingling, here's a nice little restaurant. Here's the mob. Let's see what the mob can do. Okay, they go up to the people that were eating and finally getting a chance to not be a part of the lockdown. Now, I do have this on speed because I just don't want it to take forever. And, well, there's a skateboard. I wonder if it's going to bash people over the head like has happened in so many other incidents. They're throwing the chairs. This white guy's like, dude, stop throwing the chairs. Stop it. And then the video freezes. Okay? Then this lady comes up and tells him, shut your pie hole, whitey boy. They can throw their chairs if they want chairs. So now, I better slow it down. It's messing up the program. Okay? Then they go in the other door of the restaurant. And here's all these folks. Look at it, they're just like, whatever, dude. So that's what it's like to be in New York. Now, they don't show him, but if you listen, and I shut my foot, it's this lady. She flips their tables. She flips their dinners. Okay, and they're like, okay, I guess we're gonna go. Do we still have to tip the waitress since they've tipped all the tables? Thrown the chairs around? You know, Jesus did that, but for a whole different reason. So, now the restaurant doesn't get paid. They have to deal with all the destruction. Thanks, Black Lives Matter. Oh, nope, let's push over more stuff and see what we can break. It is interesting how most of these people doing the violence are white with the Black Lives Matter ban. But you know what? Black Lives Matter doesn't condemn them. So there you go. Now, down in Manhattan, those rioters caused $100,000 worth of damage. Because it's not like New York isn't still reeling from the lockdowns and the other riots. So here's the deal. So you watch the video footage of this fellow's case. And it doesn't look good. As they say, we need more evidence. But if the preliminary autopsy says it was asphyxiation, and you can see the cop's hands on the body cam around the dude's neck. Anyways, it doesn't mean you go out and destroy innocent people's stuff. It doesn't mean you go out and destroy people's stuff hundreds of miles away and thousands of miles away. That does not make any sense. That's cuckoo. It's just wacky-dacky. And even worse than that, if you keep doing this stuff over and over and over, you land up with an entire section on Real Clear Politics of like, hey, where's the destruction and mayhem by BLM today? Well, today it's in Rochester, but back in Portland from a couple of days ago, actually it's been a week now. Yes, that fellow targeted him. They show him following him and hunting him and then exterminating him. And then, of course, he gets killed by the cops a couple of days ago. Oh, geez. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, this means that we now have corporate sponsors for American insurrection. Because you have BLM, which on their homepage says, we support destroying the family. We support communism, Marxism. The people that go on the interviews that are their spokespeople say we are communist, we are Marxist. Okay. And so here we are, and they're destroying everything. And they're actually corporate sponsor. We are living in a sci-fi comedy. It has to be a comedy because When you start having DoorDash sponsored by Black Lives Matter, the same people that just are doing all those riots all over the country, that Black Lives Matter has yet to denounce any of the deaths or anything else. Yeah, that is a comedy, because you couldn't turn that script in as a serious film of America being destroyed with, by the way, sponsored by DoorDash. Or, this is Deckers. We support Black Lives Matter and the riots in your neighborhood. Amazon. We really, really, really sponsor all the riots in your neighborhood. Gatorade. We're great for gators and destroying America. Microsoft. Bing, bing, bing. Destroy the buildings. Glossier. 23andMe. Airbnb. Unilever, which pretty much is every single household cleaning product in the store. Bungie. I don't know what that is. Nabisco. That's right. When you eat your Ritz, good cracker. Did you say cracker? They said cracker. They really did say cracker. Dropbox. Yes, you can drop that box right there, destroy it. Oh, make sure you drop that box through the window, too. Fitbit. How many calories did you burn while you were protesting and rioting and looting? Devolver Digital. Don't know what they are. Skillshare. Hey, this is how you pick up your skateboard and throw it through the windshield so you can steal everything inside. And remember, say Black Lives Matter. This is how you go into a restaurant where people are trying to eat and trying to have some fun after all of this horrible lockdown and ruin their meals. Square Enix. Don't know. That game company. Yeah, well, the game is Destroy Whitey. Tender. Yes, we're all getting a little tender about this whole thing. And of course, the number one sponsor in the media for BLM and their riots, because they are inseparable, is the National Basketball Association, and LeBron James as their spokesperson. Thanks, LeBron James, for creating all of this mayhem and sponsoring it and giving them money and flying them around and watching them take their buses that Tim Pool has covered on his channel. This is the sci-fi comedy dystopia we are forced to live in. Lockdowns that never end in blue states. Black Lives Matter. Riots that never end. And we get the comical, remember it is a comedy, oh, they were mostly peaceful protests. Oh, it was mostly a peaceful murder. In fact, he wasn't actually dead until the last few seconds. The rest of the entire timeline of these people were completely peaceful. How could you get more peaceful than that? We're talking their entire lives were completely without infraction or error or danger. No, it was only in the last split second where they took their life and made a mostly peaceful murder. No, mostly peaceful is comedy. So now when they say mostly peaceful, you can hear the laugh track cranking up. They said mostly peaceful. Oh, you kill me. That's a real knee slapper. Yes. Thank you, NBA. Thank you for corporate sponsors. Goodyear, don't forget Goodyear. They support this too. Critical race theory. Yes. It's all racist garbage destroying our country. From the beginning of Black Lives Matter with Trayvon, you had them saying they wanted justice. Well, it went through the courts twice with Trayvon, including Obama's DOJ that did every single thing they could to nail Zimmerman and found nothing to convict him twice. So much for double jeopardy. But for those of us at the beginning that said, hey, yeah, we don't like the police abuse of people. We're right there with you for people that didn't do anything wrong and are being harassed and killed. Or people that did do a little something wrong but didn't deserve to die for it. We're right there with you. And they said no. Black Lives Matter said no. We want black people that are killed by white cops and no one else. And you know that's the only examples we have in the media, and the precursors to these riots are, without exception, black people killed by white cops. They don't cover black on black. They don't cover black on black in Chicago. They don't cover black on black in LA. They don't cover black on black, period. They only cover white cop on black suspect. And has been noted by many other people, and I'll throw it in here just for sake of public service announcement. The huge majority of these would be resolved with complying. Now, in this particular case, with this particular fellow, he did comply, and he did die. So there are exceptions. And all of them need to be addressed. Not just the black ones. Not just the Chinese ones. Nobody even talks about the Chinese. Not just the ones with the American Indians. Nobody talks about the American Indians. They don't exist. This country is black and white right now. How boring. How boring. We spent 30 years having shoved in our faces, probably rightly so, America's made up of all these different people in the melting pot. And now in 2020, no, it's black and white. How boring. So now we have the corporate sponsors. Amazing. America is dying from insurgency with corporate sponsors. Rated PG-13? Nah, rated R for violence and suggestive language. We'll see you in the future.